Pedregon, our funny car champion here in Dallas again. Fourth win in Dallas, fourth win on the season, second win in Texas this year. Texas has been pretty good to you, and moving on up in the point standings as well. It was a pretty good day at the office for your team.
Yes, Alan. You know, I thought a couple months back, I thought, you know, we do have a good car. We perform well in Dallas for whatever reason. I thought it'd be cool to sweep the Texas races, and lo and behold, here we are. It was, you know, it was an uphill battle. I really wasn't feeling like our motor was really running right to really click off. You know, I heard the first round our 410 was good, but there was some 06s and just so anyway. I just felt like every round we got better. We made the right adjustments, and then in the final, I got to be honest, that was probably an 05 because I had the top light out there. So to run a 410 at 312, which is our best speed of the weekend, really way to put an exclamation point on this event. And we were really taking force serious, as you know, as we all should. And man, I'm just glad I didn't see his fender out there at all, because it was. You know, I just thought it would be a Cinderella for him to win this, with, you know, because I know he's friends with Billy Meyer. But you know, it's great for our team, the Snap-on Toyota. Like I said, we were just kind of hanging around, and then we kind of just gained momentum as the race came about.
Everybody missed the two qualifying runs on Friday. How big a deal is that, really?
Well, I think the good teams adjust. I'll be honest with you. You know, we can all look back and say, yeah, we would have been nice to have a couple more runs. But really, you know, when you look at the top 10, man, these guys are stacked. Yeah, you know, Schumacher has you know, obviously a team that each of those funny cars have good people, and same thing with Forrest. They didn't miss a beat. We can all look back and say we'd have liked a couple runs, but I think the end result is what you saw was the cream of the class, regardless of the runs.
When you saw Hagan go out, did you feel like this was a chance to move up today?
Well, you know, I was really not looking at it that way. I figured, you know, pick your poison, Beckman or Hagan, and you know, and obviously, you know, Hagan's had a little bit more success this year. So yeah, you know, in a small way. But we were so busy in our pit area, I didn't really have time to think about too much who we were racing. I just knew we just needed to get our motor to. We put two motors in today, so you know, from my ownership perspective and you know, my tuning perspective, I took a little hit there, but it still ran. If you look back and look at the ETs, it ran 409, you know, 410 first round, 413. I think it was another 409 in there somewhere, and then a 410. The car outside looking in, it looked like we just had a great day, but internally there we were working. And the team did. Hey, they answered the bell every run. We were a little late pulling up there against Beckman. I thought we had an oil pressure problem. I almost gave it away. I had a really horrible light there against Beckman, but it turns out that we lost the oil pressure, but the motor stayed together till the finish line. So you know, it wasn't the prettiest event for us, but outside looking in, it looked good, I would say.
It's been decades since Cheryl Greer was I think the last funny car driver to tune himself to a championship. Do you ever think about that you could be the next one?
Yeah, well, you know, I always think about it and how cool it would be and how important it would be. But you know, there's such a long way to go right now. I'll be honest with you. I really feel like, okay, what are we going to do at St. Louis? I'm already thinking about St. Louis and you know, on any given Sunday, as they say, you know, just you know, who gets hot. I really felt like coming into this race, to be honest with you, Caps was going to have probably the best car, and they looked like they stumbled first round. But so you just never know. I mean, I just want to enjoy this win, and we'll figure out what we'll do in St. Louis. But you know, I'll be honest. You know, after losing second round there last race, I thought, you know, you just never know which way who's going to perform and who's going to build the leads. I think really what NHRA's created here is there's no, so far with two of 6 in, there's no runaway funny car, which is what NHRA wants, which is what they're getting. So for anybody, including myself, to start looking championship, we're way too early for that, because I'm sure we'll have our day where we'll probably go out early at one of these.
You go back to '92, peak force here. Is there anything different about competitive relationship with him, because it's such a long-running competitive
Yeah, you know,
relationship?
and be honest with you, I thought about that time. In fact, I'll never forget this. This is crazy. John Force we're getting ready to put my helmet on. I'm just a young buck, wet behind the ears. In '92, we're getting ready to suit up, and I'm just getting ready to put my helmet on, and I hear somebody go, "Hey, Cruiser," and it's John. He says, "Let's go to work." I'm mimicking John. And I thought, this guy is crazy. He's talking about going to work as if we're going to go out there in the office or whatever. But I did reflect on that for maybe 10 seconds before I got in the car. But you know, hey, John is still a feared man. My heart rate was up a mile a minute just because of, you know, hey, you're racing John Force. So, you know, but hey, a lot of respect for John. And, you know, hey, we weren't taking him lightly. Like I said, we ran a really good run. The Snap-on Toyota we had our ears pinned back, and it could have gone either way. We were actually taking a chance there. I thought, look, we're going to get after this guy. If it spins the tires, oh well. So we were not taking him lightly, but great champion. Glad we beat him.
That race in '92 here propelled you to the championship.
It did, yeah, it did. You know, and different circumstances, we both smoked the tires there. And you know, it's funny because that race, the fans still, of all the memorable events that I've had or races, that '92 final round against John Force still gets talked about to this day. You know, people are older, and some of these kids are older now, but that one race was probably my signature, and maybe John's of our careers, maybe.
Mean anything to win at age 50?
Pardon me?
Does it mean anything now to win at age 50?
Oh, you know, one last thing about Forrest, he did his interview, and I'm getting in the car. He goes, "Oh, I'm trying to beat this kid Cruz." I'm thinking, man, that's pretty cool. kid, it's hard to, you know, I feel like that number is, you know, it's a pretty big number there. But you know, hey, I still feel, you know, hey, John is one of those guys. I can see now where John really didn't want to see Kenny Bernstein or Perdone retire, because you know, you kind of feel like as you get older, you feel like, hey, if these guys are still doing it, hey, why can't too? So no matter what, John will always be older than me, so I won't feel as old.
But you aren't the punk kid anymore when you come out.
No, you know, and circumstances for me have changed. At that time, I was a driver, and that's it. You know, and for me to be able to race, you know, and a lot of it I owe to John. John was one of those guys that inspired me and my brother Tony. He was a guy that made it work for him, you know, and through the years, and starved and drove the truck, and also I kind of feel like, you know, he's inspired us. But you know, hey, at the end of the day, I look at his big buildings. When we drive by my shop, I'm thinking, man, that guy, he's got a lot. So, you know, you have to dig in a little extra, you know. And just when you think of nice guy Forrest, you got to remember that guy is he's done well for himself. So
you got a lot of Wallies sitting in your showroom too.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, my win-loss record against John is still lopsided, but it's nice to get to sneak another one back. Lopsided in his favor, by the way.
So Alan, are you calling him an old punk now?
I didn't say that.
Ow!
You're not the young punk. But...
Hey, if you want, you can call me anything you want as long as we win. That's all I know.
Good to know.
Can I just ask you one?
Never stop you before.
A little bit of minutia, just make sure I followed you. Did you use 3 engines in today, or you said you had?
You know, yeah. Well, we didn't lose them. We had to change them just because we had lower bearing issues, and so yeah, we put 2 motors in today. Okay. Yeah, we did, and then we actually put a motor together. We were getting ready to lower the car, put the body on it, and we actually had to take the oil pan back off because we had now I'm not going to say what the part was, but you know, it's like when you put a model together, you know, you put it together and there's parts left over. That's not good. So we had to put some missing parts back in the. So, but I got to hand it to my guys.
You don't want to say that it was an upper bearing, because that's always what it is.
That's exactly what it was, Alan. It was an upper bearing.
That's always what it is.
Nice. So anyway, hey, Snap-on Tools allowed us to pull it apart, put it back together in like 10 minutes. Didn't skip a beat. We were still up here waiting for Beckman.
What does that say about the momentum you have right now to have the kind of day on the track? It looked like you guys were going good behind the scenes, so to have the kind of day that you guys didn't still win.
That's exactly right. I think that you know, I've had good cars, and this is one of them. And when you have when you have issues and you still come out on top is really a credit to the team, our car, and everybody involved. Good, very good point.
Anything else for Cruz? Travel safe. I'll see you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dallas.